There we go, we should be good to go. So yes guys, welcome to the final round of the MMCC, brought to you by Chell, Lawman, Motorsport. And yes, it's the legendary Hoppers in the commentary box. How are we doing? And yes, we are at the glorious and fabulous Mount Fuji circuit. Just let me know if I'm heard, by the way guys, just so I can test the audio levels. But yes, we should be in for a good night of racing. There's quite a lot of mixture of cars. There's some very colourful ones as well out on the grid. But we should be looking forward to seeing exactly what is going to happen, because the cars that were picked, obviously throughout the season, such as the McLaren F1, Lamborghini, the Ferrari, the Jaguar, the Beetle, and of course the Honda, and of course you know, there's quite a lot of few cars out there, but just trying to remember exactly what cars were there. But it's going to look like it's going to be a very interesting night of racing, so we can see exactly what's going on. But you know, there's a lot of cars as Brian Moncani goes off there into the barrier. He goes, that was a bit of a fishtail out of the first turn, and got onto the curb, and it just kind of spat him round into the barrier. But hopefully it won't hamper his race. But he is going to be looking forward to seeing what is going to happen for tonight. It is down to the last round of the championship, and it's the last cars they have got to pick as well, and it will be very interesting to see what is going to happen. But Darren's currently in the Honda then. It is the last car for him to use. It probably will be very well round here. I've raced round here previously myself, and it is a very good circuit. But however, you know, there is a lot of interest, especially going into, of course, the last corner of Panasonic, and then obviously down that 1,000 kilometre straight. It is a very long straight. It does not feel like it's 1,000 kilometres, but trust me, when you're going out of the final turn, it will feel like it. But yeah, it's going to be very great to see what's going to happen. But just looking who's around then. So Adam Morgan in the cream egg, I think that's the cream egg liveried Jaguar. So he's going to be looking forward to seeing what he can do. He's not the British touring car star, he is the Welsh namesake, but we'll see how well he gets on tonight. Looking forward to seeing how quick he's going to go. Nathan Rombout in the McLaren F1. So there is two McLaren F1s within the old school log livery. So Brian Moncani has one, as well as Nathan Rombout. So the two Belgians in their brightly coloured McLaren F1. So it's going to be very interesting to see how well they go for this evening. I believe that was actually a Japanese GT livery back in the day, so that's why they're using it for tonight. It looks very stunning, I must admit. Then we've got Tom Bennett in the Lamborghini. Excuse me, the red Lamborghini, the 93, just sponsored by Eldar Racing. So yes, it is very good to see a ESR logoed Lamborghini on the grid for this evening. Nate Fletch in the Sky sponsored McLaren F1. I think the McLarens are going to be a bit of a bogey round here. I'm not too sure exactly how well they're going to go, but it's going to be very close to see what Nath can do. Nath's obviously a very adaptable racer, and he's very come on strong in his racing throughout a couple of Friday nights as well. But we'll see how well he does in that McLaren. It is obviously going to be very interesting to see how well he's going to go. You got Noah in the IKEA sponsored Lamborghini Huracan. Just he's gone off at Dunlop there by the looks of it. So just exiting Dunlop, I think that's where he's gone off. But it's going to be very interesting to see what he's going to do. He's obviously trying to get to grips, rather, should I say. You've got Gareth Morris in the Morrison's sponsored Jaguar. So the Welshman. He actually won GT Supercars, I believe, in that livery. So it'll be very interesting to see how well he does. He's just lighting up the tyres, trying to get warmth. Then you've got Casper Brockner in the Honda. It is the remaining Honda for him, I believe. That's exactly how he was going to go, but we'll see what the Dane can do. He's thereabouts. We'll see if his compatriots, of course, none other than Rasmus Omeren in the Jaguar Racing Jaguar. But we'll see how well it goes. But it is going to be very interesting indeed. Yeah, there's a few of your liveries, mate, indeed. Yeah, I've noticed that, Nick. It's quite of a weird feeling seeing some of your liveries when I keep thinking it's you that's racing, but it'd be good to see how well people do in certain bits and pieces. But obviously everyone likes using your liveries for some bizarre reason, but I don't mean that offensive, by the way. I mean that's a very good thing, but yours are better than mine because there's quite a lot of detail, whereas mine are just basic. But it should be a good night of racing. I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen in the 10-minute qualifying for the final round of the championship, and hopefully my voice doesn't disappear like it did last week, because that was pretty much insane what happened at Senghua last week. It was, you know, battles galore, and then we had a few people, you know, trying to take the extreme lengths to try and win the race as well. And this season has never failed to disappoint. It has been absolutely unreal, I must admit, but it has been a lot of things. So obviously Darren's just reminded them about don't cross the white line going into out of pit lane, because you will incur a penalty, which rightly so, because, you know, it could be dangerous if a car goes down that straight. But it's 5 minutes till qualifying, so we'll see what's going to happen. But there is a lot of things to look forward to throughout Eldar Sim. There is, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but we do have the Aston Martin Championship and the VW Scirocco's as of Friday. That is Friday night's league, so there will be more chance to see some of these guys out on track. It's going to be very interesting to see exactly what's going to happen, because come Friday, you know, I will be back in the comms box for the VW Scirocco's, and that's going to be very interesting to see how they're going to get on, because it is one make. Same with the top tier on Friday night is a one make, and they have the Aston Martin, so it's going to be very interesting. I believe there is a rallycross league coming to Eldar Sim. I'm not too sure when that's going to be, but I believe that is going to be getting some attention, and it will be some drivers will be signing up for that, no doubt. But I believe that is going to be Tuesday nights, I believe, so keep an eye out on the Eldar Sim Facebook page and also maybe Instagram for that one. And, you know, it should be very interesting to see. Noah's currently third in the testing, but I think that's just the times, because Xavier is there. What is he in? He's in the Jaguar, so we'll see how well he does. Been putting on quite a strong fight as Xavier throughout the season. He had a bit of a rough and tumble time at Catalonia, if I remember rightly. He was trying to challenge for the race lead, and it went to the final lap, but then I think pressure got to him, and then he took the win at Autopolis, which I think it was Autopolis, if I remember rightly. And he's been thereabouts, but he's had quite a few interests within his racing, but he's now in the Jaguar for the last car of the season, so it will be there. So we are going to be starting very soon. We are around 2 minutes away, or 2.5 minutes away, but it's going to be very interesting to see how well everyone is going to go. I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen. Casper's currently 137.5 at the moment, so that's the benchmark, what they'll be aiming for in qualifying, but this is only just practice at the moment, so it is going to be very close. I have actually driven that Jaguar. There was a one-off event on Friday around Spa-Francorchamps, so the Jaguar is quite a nice car to drive. It can be quite tricky if you've not raced it before, but it is a very interesting car. It'll be very interesting to see how the two Belgians get on in the McLarens, because they will be thereabouts, but it is going to be a very interesting moment. But we are getting ready for qualifying, and then obviously it's 10 minutes of qualifying, then an hour race. I believe it is going to be 6 laps. I think it is 6 laps on a minimum on the tyres, so we get qualifying underway very shortly. Should be good to go any moment, but we'll see how quick it's going to go. But down into qualifying, and we'll see if anyone can break Casper's time. But we'll see how many people exit out of pit lane to get balance. But pit lane is a frantic place at the moment, especially with starting qualifying, so we'll be very close to see what's going to happen. So I believe first car out pit lane was Rasmus, I believe. Could be wrong, but Darren's actually just pulled out of everyone's way just to make sure everyone is out of pit lane. I believe Lee Fitzy and then of course Casper Bruckner are the last two to leave pit lane, not leave qualifying, but we'll see how well. The timing screen will throw a bit of wobblers from time to time, just why everyone is going out of pit lane for quite some time. We've got Adam Morgan with that 4/10 penalty. Well, yeah, the 4/10. He needs to get rid of it on the lap, but obviously in qualifying that will hamper his grid position. But we're just on their outlaps at the moment, so it will be Rasmus that will lead them for. Where is he? He's thereabouts, but in the Castrol Racing Jaguar, he will be pushing on to see what he's going to do for contention to try and win the championship, and he will be pushing that Jaguar all the way. He will be wanting to get a very good racing. So it looks like so we'll see, have a look what's happening. I think Lee Fitzy's decided, so it's going to be a restart by the looks of it. I believe Nick is entering the lobby, so there will be a restart for qualifying. There's quite a few that are going to be restarting qualifying, so we'll just hopefully jump out. I think there's a few just needing to jump out of qualifying, because you know it's going to be thereabouts, but see exactly how well it's going to be. But so basically we'll see what's going to happen, because I think we were going to get Nick into the lobby, and I think, you know, it's only fair that Nick does race the final round of the championship, with him being the founder of Eldar Sim. So we'll see exactly what he's going to do. I believe he's in the Ferrari tonight, so he's going to be very interesting to see what he's going to do. So we'll get ready for another restart of qualifying. So let's see what is going to happen. But he's in the Ali Ferrari, which is going to be very interesting to see what he's going to do, no doubt. But we will get underway very shortly, and I think he's going out for a quick practice lap. So we'll see exactly what's going to happen. I think there's one driver. I think it is. Very close to see what's going to happen, but get ready for another restart of qualifying. So we shall see. So let's see what's going to happen for the last 10 minutes of qualifying. So it's restart number 1 for qualifying. Danny's probably going to be wanting to escape. Rasmussen straight away back onto the sharp end to get out of pit lane. He wants to try and roughly get out of pit lane as quick as he can, because with him leading the championship he's going to want to get clear air, and he's going to want to try and stick that Castrol Racing Jaguar onto pole position. So it'll be very interesting to see what he can do. Gareth Morris, Adam Morgan, Daniel Pease, followed by Samper and of course Noah. They're the ones that are next out. Samper's in the, of course, purple Volkswagen Beetle. So the Monster Energy inspired livery with quite a lot of Japanese logos on the side, but he will see what he's going to do. He's got Noah in the IKEA Lamborghini Huracan at the moment. The reigning current WTSC champion is Noah, so he's going to be putting on a very good show. We'll see exactly what's going to happen, but they will be battling in qualifying just to get the lap times. Then you've got Xavier followed by Nate Fletch. Then you've got Jeff, Tom Bennett, and of course Nathan Rumbox, Brian Mulcahy, as well as Nick, and of course Darren. It's going to be very interesting to see what they're going to do. I think the likes of Nathan Rumbox and Brian Mulcahy, they're going to drop to the sort of almost tail of the field just to get clean air and see what happens. But obviously Casper Brockner in the Honda, we'll see what's going to happen. But I believe from what I've heard or what I've just seen, it says the Lamborghini is going to be very quick around here, but who knows exactly what's going to happen. But we are getting ready for a couple of flying laps. Then a few people jumping into pit lane already. I think that's going to be deciding what tyres they're going to start on for the race, so we'll be very close to see exactly what's going to happen. So at the moment you've got Rasmus Omeran followed by Gareth Morris at the moment, and of course Adam Morgan just trying to get their lap times in. So 7.5 minutes remaining roughly in qualifying. It's going to be very close to see exactly how well that's going to go, but just looking exactly how Gareth Morris will pip the Jaguar. He seems to be hopefully going to enjoy the Jaguar because he's raced it before, so it will be very interesting to see how well the Jaguars go. Daniel Pease in the Snoopy McLaren F1, and just see Snoopy chilled out on the side of the McLaren. We have of course Noah, Xavier, Tom Bennett, Brian Mulcahy, and of course Nathan Rumboltz, both Belgians in the field, both best mates in real life as well, so it'll be very interesting to see how well they do up against each other in both similar machinery, but however to tell the difference, Nathan has the Dayglow yellow and Brian has the blue, so that will be telling us the difference when they decide to make their respective pit stops. And then obviously Nate Fletch followed by Samper at the moment, obviously Casper Brockner, and of course Nick's going into pit lane as well just to get there. Rasmus was going fastest, but then Gareth Morris, however, we'll see what they've done there. Pip's number there, Gareth Morris is 137.9 at the moment, so that's the time to beat. The Jaguar looks very strong at the moment, followed by then Noah with a 138.008, so that's a very good lap time from the current WSTC champion. He's going to be thereabouts, but he's going to fire that Lamborghini, the IKEA Lamborghini's purple in that sector, with Xavier up into third then, 138.1 at the moment, with Adam Morgan with a 1 second penalty in that cream egg Jaguar at the moment. He needs to get rid of that as best as he can. He's currently 4th at the moment. Rasmus is down in 5th. That's what he doesn't want to have, to take contention. It seems to be thereabouts, but could be very interesting to see what happens. Daniel Pease, however, 138.812 at the moment. 6th place at the moment. Brian Mulcahy with 139.4 at the moment, with of course Tom Bennett with a 139.795 at the moment, with Casper Brotner 140.5 at the moment. Nathan Rumbolt rather 140.8 at the moment. That seems to be a bit of a disappointment for the other Lark McLaren at the moment. Then you've got obviously Nate Fletch with a 138.243. Obviously Sampa with a 142.1 at the moment. So poor old Sampa trying to get 2nd place in the championship. He's currently down in 12th place at the moment. So Gareth Morris goes into pit lane with around 4 minutes and 41 seconds left of qualifying. It'll be very interesting to see what they can do. Nick's currently with a 139.4 at the moment, but I believe he'll be thereabouts. He's sliding that Ferrari there. He's obviously getting used to his new gadget that he has, so he's probably just trying to push on for a bit, trying to get used to different styles. Nate Fletch with a 138.7. So Darren is down in 14th at the moment with a 146.9. So the person in 2nd place isn't doing so well at the moment, but he'll be back up there, I'm sure he will. But it goes a 140.4 at the moment, but Darren goes 10th fastest then. It'll be very interesting to see exactly what happens. But Casper Brotner, the Honda driver, with a 137.8 at the moment. That is exactly just near enough what he did in practice a couple of moments ago, but it's going to be very careful between the pair of them. Let's see what's going to happen, because Gareth Morris drops down to 2nd, but I believe Gareth Morris is on an out lap. 3.5 minutes to go in the final qualifying session of the season then, so we'll see what he's going to do. But Casper's trying to push that Honda to its absolute limit. He's probably thinking, right, to try and get a bit of consolidation for the championship, you know, it's going to be very careful, but we'll see what he does going into Dunlop. He's just obviously into Dunlop. Gareth Morris on his way out of Panasonic. I believe he's got Rasmussen 7th at the moment, so Gareth is on an out lap, whereas Rasmus is also on an out lap, so they will get time to go again. So we've got 2 minutes and 45 seconds. So Adam Morgan about to cross the line. He's already crossed the line, so he stays 6th at the moment. Xavier 5th, Sampa 4th at the moment, so that's very interesting. Goes back into pit lane though, however Noah in 3rd at the moment, so that's going to be very close to see what's going to happen with just under 2.5 minutes, or now 2 minutes 20, but it's going to be thereabouts, but it's going to be very close. Darren up in 6th then, so 138.590. That could be very crucial for Darren, because he's only got a car ahead of him in his title nemesis Sampa at the moment, but well, championship nemesis should I say, is Sampa. But 2 minutes left then. Adam Morgan down in 7th, Rasmus 8th then. Nate Fletch, however, where is he? He's 138.819, so that's put him 9th still at the moment. Daniel Pease 10th, which is a bit unfortunate for the Snoopy inspired McLaren at the moment, but hopefully it'll be thereabouts. Brian Mulcahy 11th for the moment, so the Belgian trying to push on, you know, 2nd place runner up in WTSC on a Friday, so it'll be very interesting to see what he's going to do, whether he's going to adapt to the McLaren and see what he's going to do. So obviously he's going to be thereabouts. I think he will do well. He's on an out lap at the moment, so I don't know whether he's going to get time to get another lap in. Rasmus though, 138.311 at the moment. Daniel Pease 138.4, Xavier 138.032. That has put him up still in 4th at the moment, but Rasmus is up into 6th, then that's dropped, and Daniel's up into 7th at the moment. Darren in 8th then, so Darren's got a few cars between him and Sampa now. 40 seconds remaining in qualifying, so Darren's going to have to get skates on to try and get a very good string lap time in here for what would be a very interesting qualifying. But they Fletch 10th, Brian Moncani 11th, Tom Bennett in, of course, 12th. He actually did go 12th, but Nathan Rumboltz goes 13th. So he's knocked Nick down to 14th. Nick's on an outlap at the moment, so you know he's probably not going to get time. He's probably miscalculated yet again to get another run in, but he may be okay because he may get another lap in. He's actually going to have a final lap then. So it looked like Jeff's in 12th at the moment, so it looks like Nick did cross the line just in time to get a final lap in. But Casper Brockner still in pole position, provisional pole position, unless someone can beat that lap time. It'd be very interesting to see exactly what's going to happen, because the likes of Gareth Morris has got a penalty. Was that a penalty for Gareth, or was it a penalty for Rasmus? Yeah, it's a penalty for Rasmus. So it's going to be very interesting to see exactly what's going to happen. But Xavier goes provisional pole position. However, even though it says that Casper Brockner is on pole position, but then Noah, however, 137.796. But I think the problem with the timing screen was actually Casper Brockner and of course Xavier, they actually did equal times. They actually did a 137.859, which is actually insane. That is actually crazy. It's both the same lap time as each other, which, funny enough, that's very interesting. Tom Bennett with a 139.2 at the end, but Casper Brockner goes back slowly but fastest with a 137.6 at the moment, so he takes pole position away from Noah, and he actually slashes Xavier's lap time. So qualifying now has finished, but that was a bit close for the time being. But Casper's back on pole position then, so we'll see exactly what's going to happen. But see how things go for the final race of the season. Then it is going to be very close to see exactly what's going to happen. Nick's at the tail of the field, unfortunately, but hopefully he will pick up some good positions, and we are going to be seeing exactly what's going to happen. Casper Brockner versus Noah versus Xavier versus Gareth Morris and Sampa Rasmus and Daniel Pease, and of course Darren. 5 red lights are coming on, starting going through the map to flip to green in a moment or two, but who's going to get a good jump into turn number 1 then? It looks like Casper Brockner has a bit of a good start. He's got a good jump from Noah at the moment, but Noah's on that attack already, trying to get thereabouts, but he's got Xavier right behind him with the likes of Rasmus up into 4th, then Daniel Pease 5th. Gareth Morris has bogged down into 6th place at the moment, but there's been an incident between Nate Fletch. Nate Fletch comes back on track. Darren's dropped down to 8th at the moment, but there's also a battle for 9th, 10th, 11th, and possibly 12th between the 2 McLarens of Brian McCann and of course Nathan Rumboltz, but Nathan Rumboltz is 9th at the moment. But it looks like Nick's picked up a few spots off the start there, so Nate Fletch in 14th, Jeff down in 15th at the moment, but Brian McGarney's got Tom Bennett right behind him, Nick's right behind them, so 11th, 12th, 13th at the moment. Nick's trying to get that move done, but Nate Fletch closes the door on Nick, so Nick's back in 14th at the moment with Jeff right behind him at the moment, trying to push that McLaren further up, but we'll see exactly what's happening. But Casper Brockner still leads the way then from Noah, followed by Xavier and of course Rasmus. So the championship leader Rasmus trying to get there alongside Noah out of the final turn, and about to start going down that 1,000-kilometre straight and about to take lap number 1 into the book then, so it's going to be very careful to see what happens. But Xavier up in 2nd with Rasmus and Noah. Been hard in WSTC last season, and I'll tell you what, Daniel Pease is trying to make it 3 wide, but it could be very careful because the likes of Xavier is trying to close the door. But I'll tell you what, it's going to be almost 3 wide, maybe place, but Daniel Pease jumps into third place then. What a stellar move that was. Ahead of Noah versus Erasmus, and of course Adam Morgan ahead of Brian Moncani at the moment, with the likes of Darren down in 11th at the moment. He seems to be thereabouts. Is he going to push on to get where he needs to be? Nate Fletch 12th at the moment, with Tom Bennett in, of course, 13th, soon could be 12th, taking Nathan Fletch into from 12th place, which drops Nate down to 13th, Nick in 14th for 8th after him. Jeff's got about a penalty there. He's trying to push on, but Casper Brockner still leading the race then. Let's see how well he's going to go. You know, he's got 57 minutes left, you know, still not far off, you know, he's going to be there, but still a long way to go. That's what I was trying to say, couldn't get me words. But he's got Xavier behind him versus Noah versus Daniel Pease, but to see the Snoopy liveried Lamborghini Huracan trying to push on with the likes, you know, getting the toe down this 1,000-kilometre straight is crucial, because it will line you up into good stead for the first corner. But it looks like Noah's let Daniel go there, but Rasmus and of course Gareth Morris, championship leader Rasmus, he needs to have a decent result tonight to try and clinch that title, but seems to be a lot of battles between the two Lark McLaren F1s, between Adam Morgan's Cream Egg and Jaguar at the moment, but I think Adam Morgan's trying to get alongside Nathan Rombolt's for trying to go thereabouts, but he's got to be mad at the moment trying to say, not in life sunshine, I'm going to try and hold this 8th place at the moment to try and see exactly what's going to happen, but we'll see how well that's going to go. But you can just see Adam Morgan under threat from, of course, Brian Moncani, so the two Belgians are putting Adam Morgan in a bit of a sandwich there as we go through Dunlop for the third time, but this is where it could be very close to see exactly what's going to happen. Darren's down in 12th at the moment, so that's not going to do him any favours at the moment, but Adam Morgan pips Nathan Rombox and Brian Moncani to take 8th place away from the two Belgians at the moment, but Brian Moncani will work out a strategy, no doubt, between him and his best mate. Both Lark and McLaren side by side out in the final turn at Panasonic, so it's going to be very close to see exactly what's going to happen between the pair of them. Try not to take each other out, it will be very close to, can't really afford to do that, but see what's exactly happening. But you can just see Brian Moncani and Nathan Rombox, just while we try and flick what's going through the rest of the field. Well, there's a yellow flag into turn number 1 by the looks of it, but who is that? Oh, Casper Brockner's gone for the race lead. That is a bit unfortunate. What has happened to Casper? He's dropped right down to 13th, so was there an issue with him and of course Xavier, because that's allowed Xavier into the race lead then. So we'll see exactly what's going to happen with the likes of these guys at the moment. Yeah, just give me a second. So we'll see exactly what's going to happen between Xavier and of course Noah at the moment. Noah's back into that position at the moment. We'll see exactly how well it's going to go. Rasmus still there, trying to push on for 4th at the moment, with Gareth Morris trying to push as best as he can, but he's trying to push on at the moment, but we'll see how close. 53.5 minutes to go then. It's going to be very close to see what's going to happen, but you can just see how close Rasmus is getting to try and defend from of course Gareth Morris. Let's see what's happening. Sampa 6th, Adam Morgan 7th, Brian Moncani 8th, with Nathan Rombox 9th, followed by Nate Fletch in of course 10th place, followed by Darren in of course 11th at the moment, Tom Bennett 12th, with Casper Brockner 13th at the moment, what happened to Casper. Was there an issue with him and Xavier, or did Casper just lose control himself? But they're about to see exactly what's going to happen. But you know, it's down to see how close it's going to get. But you know, Casper is there, but Nick's in 14th. But there's almost a bit of a position swap there between Nath and of course Darren. Darren's trying to push on. At the moment it seems that just seeing exactly what's going to happen. Nath Fletch trying to push away from Darren at the moment. Tom Bennett on the attack from Darren to Darren's Honda, and Casper Brockner now bringing that number 11 Honda thereabouts. Is he going to try and push on for that 12th place to get back? Nick's still in 14th at the moment, and Jeff of course in 15th at the moment, but Xavier leads them. 52 minutes to go in this race left, and the final race of the championship. It could be very interesting to see what's going to happen. Noah's trying to, he's got a group of cars right behind him right now. He's got Daniel Pease, Gareth Morris, Rasmus Omeran as well right behind the two Jaguars, trying to team up on the Lamborghini and of course the McLaren. Going down this 1,000-kilometre straight, this could be a very close encounter. Noah goes straight on at turn number 1 there, but that's going to be very carefully between these two. It is going to be very unreal. I tell you what, it is going to be very careful between the likes of Gareth Morris as well as Rasmus Omeran. Between them, it is getting very close between the pair of them, but it could be very interesting to see exactly what's going to happen. But this is exactly how things go. But Noah is down in 5th then, so he's lost a bit of control there. It is going to be very careful between the likes of Noah. Noah's trying to catch them back up, but looking exactly what's going to happen. Daniel Pease still in 2nd place with Xavier thereabouts, but you can just see how close it's getting. Gareth Morris in of course 3rd, Rasmus Omeran 4th, trying to get past him, trying to get thereabouts, but Noah's dropped back then to 5th place at the moment with of course Samper and of course Adam Morgan thereabouts, with Brian Moncani and of course Nathan Rumbounce 8th and 9th. Nath Fletch and Darren's got past him at Panasonic. He's trying to literally get alongside that McLaren, but he's lost a bit of ground then, because Nath Fletch has got there, but 50 minutes remaining. This is absolutely insane between the likes of Nath Fletch and of course Darren, Casper Brockner and Tom Bennett. But the two Hondas side by side going down the front straight, then we'll see exactly what's going to happen between the pair of them. But it is going to be thereabouts, but we'll see how close it's getting between the likes of Casper Brockner. Gets into 11th place from of course Darren at the moment, with Nath Fletch in 10th place then. So you know, it's going to be very careful between the likes of Tom Bennett and of course Jeff and of course Nick. Nick's trying to get past that McLaren. The Ferrari driver trying to push ever so hard to try and literally get past that McLaren to try and take another place, but you know, we're already on to lap number 7, so not even halfway, and Nick gets through on Jeff's McLaren, but Jeff's trying to fight back, or is he? But Nick's sliding that Ferrari, the number 54 Ferrari, and Jeff gets past him, but then outbrakes himself, which then ends up allowing Nick to get past. But you know, it seems to be the likes of Nath Fletch and of course Darren now, but because Casper brought himself back up into 7th place at the moment. That is exactly how things have been at the moment between the likes of Casper Brockner, because he made a mistake or there's a bit of an issue thereabouts, but we'll see exactly what's going to happen. But you know, Casper's there, but Nathan Rumbounce has lost it going out of Panasonic. Heard a bit of screechy tyres there, but I believe Tom Bennett is... Yeah, Tom Bennett was going to go in pit. Thought he was going to go into pit lane, but Darren jumps into pit lane, so Tom goes 11th, Nath Fletch 10th at the moment, Casper Brockner 9th then. Brian Moncani's yellow flag somewhere. who has gone from the list. It looks like Noah is thereabouts, but yes, Noah has dropped down. Noah's making so many mistakes at the moment. You know, he's dropped down to 11th at the moment. That is a bit unfortunate for Noah. He's not enjoying his time in the Lamborghini at the moment, but battle for 5th and 6th between Sampo and Adam Morgan. At the moment, this is absolutely crazy stuff at the moment, with 47.5 minutes to go in this final race of the championship. I'll tell you what, it is going to be thereabouts, but let's see exactly what Adam Morgan is going to do. Rasmus Omeron in 4th place at the moment, with, of course, Daniel Pease in 3rd, with, of course, Gareth Morris in 2nd place, with Xavier still leading the race. Then it's going to be very close between Daniel and, of course, Rasmus, if Rasmus can get thereabouts, but it's going to be very close to see what happens. Adam Morgan still in 5th place at the moment, with Sampo at 6th at the moment. That Beetle seems to be thereabouts, but you know, the Finnish driver trying to push on at the moment, but we'll see exactly how well that's going to go. Brian Moncani in, of course, 7th. Excuse me. Gasper Brockner in, of course, 6th place at the moment, 8th place rather, should I say, but he's working his way back up to the front of the chasing pack if he can. Nayflip's 9th. Tom Bennett in, of course, 10th place at the moment. Noah 11th. Nathan Rombout's 12th. Jeff 13th. Nick in 14th, and Darren 15th at the moment in the Honda. Onto the racing softs then, so you know, I think Darren's trying to get thereabouts, but to get that 2nd place in the championship, it is all to do, and it is all or nothing now. It is going to be very careful, because Xavier is still leading the well, not leading the championship, but leading the race, followed by Gareth Morris, followed by Daniel Pease, with Rasmus Omeron championship leader, 4th place at the moment. Could this be a record breaking for Rasmus Omeron to try and get thereabouts? But he's got the Jaguar where he wants it at the moment. He's 4th at the moment, with Adam Morgan 5th. But Noah has left. I think he's had a technical difficulty in that Lamborghini, which is a bit unfortunate for him, with around 45 minutes and 23 seconds. So he's not even at the halfway stage yet. I think that Lamborghini looked like he had a few issues. Sampa 6th at the moment. Brian Moncani 7th now. Casper Brockner 8th then. So he's still 8th place at the moment, with 45 minutes remaining in the final race of the championship. I'll tell you what, it is absolutely unstoppable between the likes of Casper Brockner. He's going to try and push his way back towards the sharp end, but you know, no Flex goes into pit lane. Speedy Gonzalez into pit lane then, with Tom Bennett in 9th then. Nathan Rombout in 11th. It'll soon be 10th. Jeff is there in 12th, will be 11th, because Nate Fletcher's in pit lane. Darren into 13th. Nick 14th, but he's having a bit of a dilemma with that Ferrari at the moment. It's picked up a penalty in the process, but I think he's trying to always push too hard there. He's even got a bit of damage on the left hand side, so that could be another reason why. But Xavier's still in pit lane, not in pit lane, in the lead of the race, with Gareth Morris closing the gap with the likes of Rasmus and, of course, Daniel Pease. Daniel Pease has got Rasmus on right behind him at the moment for this 3rd place. This could be absolutely crucial for Rasmus. He's got to be careful, but he's got not just less than half a tank. But I'll tell you what, it's going to be very close. But you can just see how close he's trying to get to the back of that Snoopy-inspired McLaren F1 at the moment. But I'll tell you what, Daniel Pease is going to be thereabouts. Rasmus snaking his way out of the final turn there, out of Panasonic, with 43 minutes and 26 seconds remaining. But I'll tell you what, it's going to be very careful. But Sampa is there, 6th place at the moment. Brian Moncani, however, 7th at the moment. Casper Brockner 8th, still trying to catch up to these guys. He's trying to get up there. Don't know exactly what happened to him at the start, because, well, near enough when he lost the lead, but He's there in 8th place at the moment. Tom Bennett 9th. Nathan Rombouts in, of course, 10th. Jeff in, of course, 11th. Darren 12th. Nate Fletch 13th with Nick. Nick's gone. I think he went into pit lane because he had damage, so he's in 14th at the moment. Soon to be a lap down though, which is a bit unfortunate for Nick because, you know, very established racer is Nick as well, and we'll yet see how well he's going to do, but he's obviously suffering with that Ferrari at the moment, but hopefully he'll push on for quite some time. But Rasmus into 3rd then, so Daniel Pease drops down to 4th, but Daniel's caught back up to that Jaguar as best as he can. You can just see how quick he's getting, but I think some of these guys will be pitting this time round, you know. Obviously it's a minimum of 6 laps, but it all depends on certain bits and pieces, I believe. But you know, it'd be very interesting to see who's going to be blinking out of the top 4 at the moment. But I'll tell you this, it will be Rasmus. Yeah, Rasmus jumps into pit lane then. So Gareth Morris is trying to chase after Xavier. You can just see the 2 Jaguars that are thereabouts, but Gareth Morris, double GT Supercars champion, trying to push on and trying to literally get past the other Jaguar of Xavier at the moment. Rasmus Homer and Casper Brockner, and both Danes are in pit lane at the moment. That's maybe a very interesting situation for the Danish guys, because also Tom Bennett is also in pit lane, so that's allowed the likes of Nathan Rombouts to get up into 8th place then, or has it, because Rasmus has come out in 7th. But Gareth Morris trying to catch up to Xavier with 41 minutes to go in this race. It is going to be thereabouts. We'll see how well it's going to get, but it's all or nothing between Gareth Morris and Xavier going into Dunlop for the 12th time. It is going to be between these two, but are any of these two going to go into pit lane? We'll see what's happening further back. Daniel Pease in 3rd, Adam Morgan 4th, Sampa 5th at the moment, so that could be 2nd place in the championship. Bear in mind Darren puts his Honda thereabouts, but seems to be that Brian Moncani 6th at the moment, Rasmus 7th, Nathan Rombouts 8th, Darren's currently 9th, which seems to be thereabouts, but hopefully the Honda will push on. Casper in 10th as well, Nate Fletcher 11th, Tom Bennett in, of course, 12th at the moment. Xavier goes into pit lane then, so allows Gareth Morris to have the race lead, with Jeff 13th and of course Nick a lap down in, of course, 14th at the moment. But Gareth Morris leads them then with around 40 minutes left of the race. It is going to be very careful between these guys. It will be very close. Sampa in 2nd then, because the likes of Brian Moncani, Xavier, Adam Morgan, Daniel Pease in pit lane. So Rasmus back up into 3rd then. This is what Rasmus wants. Rasmus needs to get in thereabouts. Nathan Rombouts also jumps into pit lane in the background. Xavier comes out in 4th. Darren's up into 5th then, so this could be, well, it's now soon 6th, maybe 7th, because the likes of Daniel Pease, Xavier, and of course Adam Morgan thereabouts. But Darren will be on fresh tyre. He's on the fresher rubber out of the pair, out of a lot of them, because they are on cold tyres at the moment, so that could be very interesting. Brian McCartney 8th with Casper Brockner on the warmest tyres in 9th place at the moment. He's trying to chase after Brian McCartney. The Lark Engineering, the Lark McLaren versus the Honda. See Casper trying to go side by side with Brian Moncani for that 8th place at the moment. It seems to be thereabouts, but it could be very crucial. 38.5 minutes to go then in the final race of the season, but I think Casper's trying to get past Brian Moncani. Gareth Morris into pit lane then, so that's going to be very interesting to see exactly what that might mean for Sampa. But where is Sampa? He's coming through now. He's about to take the race lead, so that could be very crucial for him. But it is going to be thereabouts. But looking exactly what's going to happen. so we'll see how quick and personal it's going to get. But you know, Sampa is still there at the moment with Rasmus in 7th place, second place rather, with of course Xavier 3rd, Gareth Morris 4th, Daniel Pease 5th, Adam Morgan is there in 6th, Darren 7th, Casper's trying to get past Brian Morgani for that 8th place at the moment, but just see how close it's getting between the pair of them. 37.5 minutes to go. This is absolutely unstoppable with the likes of Casper trying to get back to where he wants to be. Nathan Fletch 10th, Tom Bennett in 11th, Nathan Rombout of course in 12th, Jeff 13th, Nick in 14th, a lap down though, however, but Rasmus is in 2nd place at the moment. If he puts his foot flat to the floor, he will try and catch up to Sampa, but I think Sampa will be trying to push on and try and stay out with that Beetle for quite some time. But Xavier still there in 3rd with Gareth Morris 4th then, so it's going to be a very close sort of momentum between the Jaguars at the moment. Sampa's the only one spoiling the top 4 symmetry with the Beetle at the moment, but it's going to be very close as Sampa does go into pit lane. Daniel Pease 5th, Adam Morgan under threat from Darren at the moment. Darren's trying to push on. That Honda is really wanting to push on. He's wanting to get the gap between him and Sampa for that 2nd place in the championship at the moment, but that could do him as Sampa's still in pit lane at the moment. So Darren up into 6th, then Brian Moncani in 8th at the moment with Casper Brockner not leaving him alone, which is very interesting to see exactly what's going to happen. Sampa's still in pit lane, so that is going to be very cautious with Nate Fletch. But is it going to be between Sampa's just come out between Casper Brockner and of course Brian Moncani, but Sampa was a bit slower going out of that corner, which then has delayed Casper Brockner yet again. I think Casper's having a bit of an issue with that Honda at the moment. He seems to be thereabouts. 35.5 minutes to go then, so we're not even halfway yet, but the halfway mark's getting very closer and closer. Nate Fletch in 10th, Tom Bennett 11th, Nathan Robarts 12th with Jeff in of course 13th, and Nick currently 14th, and he's a lap down as well. So that Ferrari, he's trying to, you know, even though he's 14th at the moment, he will push on, no doubt. So Rasmus inherits the race lead then from Xavier and Gareth Morris, so that's going to be very interesting. So it's a Jaguar 1, 2, 3 at the moment. Seems like Jaguar is going to push on for quite some time, but you can just see how close it's getting between the likes of Daniel Pease 4th, then Adam Morgan and of course Darren. So the Cream Egg sponsored Jaguar versus the Honda. It's going to be very careful because I think Darren's going to try and push on. He's going to be thereabouts with around 34.5 minutes to go, but just looking exactly what Darren's going to try and do. Darren needs to have at least that car of Adam Morgan dispatched, so he's got a bit more breathing space ahead of him and Sampa for that 2nd place in the championship. So be very careful between the likes of Brian Moncani and of course Casper Brockner side by side, but Casper gets the move done into turn number 1, but he had a bit of an issue tonight. He had a bit of an issue and dropped down to 13th, so it'll be very interesting to see what has actually happened to Casper with the likes of Brian Moncani with that 5/10 penalty now. So Brian's pushed a bit too hard there to try and catch up to Casper, but no doubt he'll push on thereabouts. Nate Fletch rather 7th, Tom Bennett 11th, Nathan Rombout's trying to push away from Jeff at the moment. It's 1.3 at the moment between himself and Jeff at the moment, with Nick currently still 14th at the moment. He's trying to push on, but you've got Rasmus Ommer in 1st place at the moment with likes of Xavier in 2nd, Gareth Morris 3rd with the likes of Daniel Pease, but he's got a bit crossed up. That was a bit hair-raising that was for the McLaren driver. He's now 5.6 seconds from Gareth Morris, but you know, Darren's trying to catch up to, of course,